Hey my loves, I'm Ellie Frost, and on this channel we're talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And this video is about how the narcissist will tear you down and steal your joy. Sorry about the topic, it's not the nicest topic, but it's something that's important to know, right? That narcissists erode your self-esteem. It normally starts happening subtly. Yeah, like subliminally. It could be something that you think, oh, they probably didn't mean that, or you may really trust this person, right? Especially if it's a parent or a partner, right? We think they love us. We just assume they must love us, right? Because that's their role. So, and they may be telling you that they love you, right? So we think maybe they're right. Yeah, I know. When I was being torn down by narcissists, they were people that I trusted, wrongly trusted, but I still trusted. And I have made a video about trusting after narcissistic abuse, and that people have to earn our trust no matter what their role is, right? That we make this assumption, we project our empathy, our emotion, right, onto other people, right? We assume they feel the way we do, and narcissists do not. They do not have a conscience. They know they hurt you. They do it on purpose. They want to trauma bond you, right? So when they start eroding your self-esteem, tearing you down, it may happen in small ways. Being passive aggressive, giving someone the silent treatment, right, is a way to tear you down. Yeah, they're looking to devalue and diminish you. Yeah, so it can happen slowly over time, little digs, little things. Yeah, they will not celebrate you, for example, right? They'll not celebrate things that you've done well. They'll have to put a dampener on it. Yeah, I said to you on the channel before about my dad, and I remember, like, I was doing very well at school. I got very good marks on the scholarship, and I remember him saying, you know, yeah, well, I think it's kind of good, but I would never be with a woman like that. Yeah, so he was basically telling me that it's great that I was ambitious or that I was doing well in my studies and stuff, but he would never be able to be with a successful woman because, like, that's not that feminine, you know? He had to bring it down. On my birthday, he did things like didn't show up, or asked me to what restaurant I like to go to, waited until the day, me thinking I'm going to the restaurant I want to go to, and then telling me he wants to go and get a cheaper option and a quick pizza instead. Just ways to bring me down, but it's kind of subtle. It doesn't always have to be overtly aggressive. Now, some narcissists, right, the overt ones, will bring you down with words. They will use aggressive words, but covert ones will do it in implied ways, right? But it digs over time. And over time, this really does, like, dim our sparkle. I say they'll steal your joy. Why? Because they don't like you to be happy. That's not it. They want you trauma bonded. They want you ruminating. They want you in that tug of war, right? Which a trauma bond is. It's the roller coaster, the emotional roller coaster they put you in, where, you know, it's okay for a while and then there's a shock. It's okay for a while and then there's a shock. Yeah, they're going to shock your system. They're going to shock your nervous system. They're going to do something that you're not expecting, right? Or maybe you are perhaps worrying about, fearing, because you've got used to them and you know they're going to do something nasty to you, right? Because it all relies on the trauma bond. They steal your joy. Now, it's been proven that happy, joyful people are the hardest to control because they're the most free. And we know that narcissistic abuse is all about domination, power, and control, right? So they don't want you happy because you're harder to control there. When you're insecure, when you've been brought down, right? When you're needing reassurance, needing validation, needing love, needing support, which is what we do naturally with our partners and our parents, yeah? You're easier to control, yeah? So again, becoming sovereign is like not allowing people outside of you to be your source of love, support, approval, validation, security. And this is a really tough spiritual lesson, right? Because we're born codependent. I've talked about this before, right? And that's for a good reason, because as a child, we need our parents to to feed us, to look after us, to help, you know, to house us and shelter us and keep us warm. So, you know, it's not just a codependency issue, right? That we end up with narcissists. It's way more than that, yeah? But like, most people are codependent to a certain degree, right? And to think that we can go through life and not care what anyone else thinks, you know, I know people teach that, but I don't think that's really it, right? I will always care what people think because I care about people and I care about the impact I have on them, yeah? So I don't think there's anything wrong in or unusual in, of course we want the people around us to support us, of course we want them to celebrate us, to be our cheerleaders. And again, you know, look at your relationships, think about what you actually really value and want from relationships. Not many of us take the time to do this. If you want to inquire about Sovereign, do, because we go through this in detail, right? But when you realize like your values and you decide to put those values into play in relationships, you will not settle for narcissistic abuse ever again, because it doesn't align with your values. Now, the best relationships have a shared vision for the future for the relationship and are based on shared values. If you don't have shared values with someone you're in a close relationship with, it's always going to be a bit difficult, right? So valuing support, valuing validation, valuing trust, valuing honesty, right? These are really good. Then what does that look like in a relationship? It looks like you won't tolerate people who don't live up to those key values that are most important to you, right? Or if you do tolerate them, you're going to put boundaries in place and keep them at a reasonable distance, right? We're not going to share our most intimate secrets with them. I made a video on this about, you know, don't share these things with a narcissist, including your dreams and your worst fears, because they will play on them and exploit you because of them. But good relationships are the people who are going to be here for you. They're the people that when you win, they win. They feel it's a win for both of you, right? They want to see you succeed. They want to see you happy. They want to see you becoming more of you. I teach all the time, right? That in a relationship that is diminishing us in narcissistic abuse, we become less of ourselves. We're living less of our values. We're living less of our standards. And we're having to sort of separate from pieces of ourselves because we're being shaped into what the narcissist needs us to be, rather than who we really are, right? So in healthy relationships, they help you become more of yourself, right? Thrive, you know, even become more self-expressive in parts that, you know, you might have been shy about. They let you flourish, right? Which is what we want. Narcissistic relationships erode you, yeah? They erode you over time. They tear you down. Yeah, and they can tear you apart in every way, emotionally, spiritually, financially, right? Sexually, they can push your boundaries so far. You can find yourself doing things in all sorts of areas that you wouldn't normally do because you want to please the narcissist. Because we end up on this, what are they going to do next? This is the feeling of being in a narcissistic abusive relationship a lot of the time. Confusion, you're being gaslit, you are trying to keep the peace, you're trying really hard to be what they need you to be, right? Because you think you're going to get an easier life, right? I want us to try really hard to get to know ourselves, right? Become sovereign, be more of yourself. Find the people that love those parts of you that are quirky, that are unusual, that are unique, right? Because those qualities in you are what's so beautiful about you. So don't forget that. I hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe and share. Lots of love, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.